Good morning. This is Pastor Brian Stolarczyk here on July 15th, 2019. And I discovered that our recording of Thursday's Bible class, the audio didn't come over very well. So I wanted to provide a replacement video for anyone who wants to join us in a journey through a little book study we're doing through Concordia Publishing House. It's a series called Thank, Praise, Serve, and Obey, based on this book by Reverend William Whedon. And what we did last Thursday was really watch the first 11 minutes of an introductory session that the author gives, laying out the foundation really for the rest of the study. I'd certainly invite you to follow the link that's here on the YouTube description. That'll take you to the Concordia Publishing House website, their Faith Life courses, where you can go and you can access the entire video series for free from your own home computer. So I'd encourage you to create a login, go into that and find the study. You can browse all of the studies they offer. Some are free, some are paid. But this one, a free study, Thank, Praise, Serve, and Obey. If you go to that and select that, and then on the right-hand column of your screen, you're going to see a section where you can look at Lesson 1, Lesson 2, Lesson 3, or Lesson 4 video. Go ahead and click the Lesson 1 link, and that'll take you right to that introductory comments. If you just watch the first 11 minutes, he's going to walk you really through the introduction, almost word for word, through the introduction of his book on video, live and dynamically. And I stopped it through various points simply because in many ways he's such an animated preacher and teacher that it feels like you're drinking water from a fire hose. It comes at you so quickly. So what we try to do is we try to slow down and talk about the difference between piety and pietism. Growing in the faith and thinking about the habits that we cultivate as to its unhealthy extreme, where people start gazing at their own internal life, their own spiritual life, and their own works, almost like spiritual muscles, and figure out, am I growing enough? And then you use that as a yardstick to judge your neighbor, and that he describes as pietism. Yet in the opening of verses, in fact, I had people underline in the books that I made available on page Roman numeral 8, a simple definition of piety that he offers. He says it's the cultivation of godly habits which benefit the household of God, the family of our Heavenly Father. So piety isn't about measuring yourself or measuring others as much as cultivating habits which benefit the household of God, the family of our Heavenly Father. And he goes on to say that piety, Lutheran piety, grows out from our adoption in baptism, that we're already made God's child. You don't have to do enough to be called a Christian. Rather, it's what God has done for us that makes us righteous in his sight. And it frees us, is what he says, to look up and watch Jesus and watch our Heavenly Father in the scriptures act and live like Christ does. And he'll also talk about the role of the small and large catechism as it plays in our growth and piety. Now, again, I told you that on the 11th of July, our first study, we only took those first 11 minutes. So I'd encourage you, if you do make an account, log in and just watch those first 11 minutes. You can download the study guide, the learner guide that goes with it, and take some notes while you're doing so. You could download the Kindle edition of the book, which would be terrific as well. And then this Thursday, on this week, we're going to look at the second half, where he walks us through one of the hymns from our hymn books that talk about Christian piety. So again, my apologies for the difficulty in the audio and not being able to show you the full class, but I pray that these first 11 minutes of his book will provide you some edifying Bible study and prepare you for our study this week. Thank you so much. God bless your day.